Okay, so Vani, you're up.
Okay, so I will introduce myself. My name is Vani. I'm from Delhi, India, and I have done my master's. I have completed it this year so far, and I am actually interested in more about project management track here. And I have learned about the organization. I have seen the project scope and other projects which I think are quite interesting to be. I should be able to do something here.
Okay, so everything that we do has to do with project management. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they kind of didn't understand that aspect of it. Okay, in order to do anything you're doing successfully, you have to know how to manage what you're doing. And project management is not really taught almost at any level as an undergraduate or graduate across literally over 50 different disciplines. Okay. So we have our own proprietary system. It's not, Google's certification project management system. It's a much more practical system that can benefit you for your entire career. Okay. So the thing is, project management is going to be built into what you're going to do. Then it's a question of, right, what projects do you want to work on? Okay. And we've got 40 different projects, literally, that you can work on. And you can, there's different levels that you can do also because involved in project management can be also team management. So, in other words, right, when you're a manager in an organization, it's not just necessarily managing a project that you're working on, it may be managing a team. So, you have that option with us to build and manage a team to help what you make successful what you're doing. Okay. So think about these things as we explore what you're going to actually work on. Okay. So you mentioned Project Cope. Were there any other programs that you saw that you were interested in, or do you want me to go through not all 40 of them, but Q&A? I'll do a question and you do an answer, and then we'll go ahead and drill down, right? And find one or two things that might be suitable.
Actually, I have seen more about the whatever youth organization and the chapters, local chapters that maybe not here, but in other countries that you have. And there were several like photos where we can see definitely people working and like that. And of course, the more focus on sustainability and like that. But I don't know all 40. I can't find them.
Yeah. Um, okay, so let me see if I understood what you said correctly. So, so you want to explore how we might work with groups in your country, in possibly other. No, go ahead.
I'm saying that I have seen what this thing, but I actually want to know about other projects since I can't find all there exactly. So
Okay,
I have seen this. So that's it.
let me go into a share. Okay, and then let me go into. Let me see if I can. Let's see. So I'm not sure if this is the best site to do this, but let me go here. Have you seen this site?
Not this one.
Okay. So these are some projects. Okay. Collaboration Think Tank Network, right? Collaboration Impact Area. There's 4 programs that go into the heart in education. There's One Planet, One People clubs. Okay. Um, this is an additional breakdown of that. There's our architectural programs that go into sustainable living. Um, these are volunteer, these are additional sustainability programs. These are volunteer and team building programs that are more like projects and campaigns. So the question is, right? We've got to drill down to see, right? Do you want to go ahead and do things that are more people oriented or more computer oriented? Do you want to go ahead and, do you want to do software website development? Do you want to go ahead and work on connecting with people over sustainability issues or connecting with organizations over sustainability issues? Do you want to go into deep research into sustainability solutions by other organizations, by other companies, as we build a network, right, that we can go ahead and help them expand, right, their solutions around the world?
Okay, so if I have to say, I definitely go with the people oriented and the research part since I'm familiar with that.
Okay. Okay. So cool. Okay. So for that, what we would do is we would build a structure that you would utilize, a system that you would follow. And what we call those action packs. Okay. They're spreadsheets that govern your project, and they start off with usually like 8 steps that you would follow that would help you achieve an objective. So in this case, the objective that you have is to research, right, cutting edge organizations that are providing sustainability solutions on tipping point issues. And I hope you wrote that down, because when you come to meetings, you can take notes. You should be taking notes, especially when it comes to you. And don't ask me to repeat that.
Okay.
Don't ask me to repeat that because I won't be able to. No, I'm kidding. Uh, okay, so that's what you want to do. Now, here's the thing. Remember, we use 3 different, right, foundation programs to do what we do. Artificial Intelligent Management, AIM, the Pomoro system, which is our proprietary project management system. Pomoro stands for project management and the 4 components that go into project management. And I just mentioned the first one. Do you know what that is? Right, Deepa, say it without being on mute.
No, it's the objective, the research.
Objective.
You mentioned research as well. Yeah.
Objective. You always have to start with your objective. That's the time when you write that as a prose form. I just gave you a complete sentence. Sometimes it's a paragraph. Okay. The next thing that you have to do is research. This is in the Pomoro system. Okay. The third thing is outline your research. And the fourth thing is spreadsheet it to manage it. Now, the tricky part comes in, how do you do your research effectively? And when you do that, you've got to analyze information that comes back, and then you've got to synthesize that information. And when you synthesize it, that goes into your outline. Okay. Then your outline is managed in your spreadsheet. Hi, Amir. Then your outline is managed in your spreadsheet. Okay. And you have one spreadsheet that manages your entire project, and you use tabs in order to go ahead and do that. Okay. So let me go ahead and see if I can share something else. Let's go into. Okay, so this is just okay. So this is the path, let's say, that you will take. So the roadmap to future success, right? Our main organization is One Planet, One People. Underneath One Planet, One People is the Benjamin Da Vinci Institute. And what you're using actually are programs within our STEP system, which is our supplemental training and educational progress. So our transformative STEP system is designed to move students and institutions beyond traditional learning. We integrate socialization and real-world skill development through project-based learning. We teach interdisciplinary, objective-based critical thinking with a focus on problem solving and exceeding objectives. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn 3 foundation, right, programs. AIM Artificial Intelligence Management, the Pomoro system, and the Essential 8. That's how you build your foundation skills so that you can be successful regardless of what you go into in the future. Okay, I deal in literally 50 different disciplines, right? My college education is English literature with a specialization in literary criticism and creative writing. And I went to law school. Okay. So I never had one business course, period. But I've done numerous successful startups. Okay. So the thing is that when you do this, okay, our mission is to help students and institutions deliver measurable results through action-based ESG, SDG, and CSR initiatives. And unlike other programs, we have what we call the group of 4. Every program that we have in under One Planet, One People has to benefit 4 groups of people. Okay, or 4 groups. It has to benefit the organization that we collaborate with, their shareholders and stakeholders, and their employees and contractors, as well as kids, people, and the planet. Okay, so this is what we're trying to go out there and teach companies, that when they incorporate what we're doing into, their organization, it doesn't cost them money. It actually can make them money because they're treating their employees better. They're changing their corporate culture and they're protecting, right, their future as well as the planet's future. Okay. So this gives you more of a background. And then the system, the differences in our system, right? You start off with, after your objective, research, analyze, experience, you're going to be presenting all the time. You're going to be getting professional feedback on what you're presenting, right? We're going to talk about how we collaborate, and you're going to start to master what you're doing, and then we're going to set it up, hopefully, so that it's measurable, okay? So that you can see, I've gone from here to here, and these are the results, okay? And there's a lot more that goes into this pitch deck, which the heart and education, right? The 4 programs that go into that, right? You're in our career track programs, which goes into AIM, the Pomoro system, the Essential 8. And then what we're starting to talk about are the action packs, which govern how you do your work. Okay. And then sustainable ESG, STG, CSR, right? 40 plus programs, 5 types of institutions, 5 groups of individuals, and 6 diverse delivery systems. Okay. And then this is for that's for the centers that we're working on setting up. Okay. So does that help with your understanding? Okay, good. Okay. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing deep research into different tipping point issues, such as energy sustainability, okay, agriculture sustainability, these types of problem areas, pollution solutions. And that's going to be global. And you're going to identify organizations, companies that are producing solutions, but you have to know what to identify in those companies, how to go ahead and do your research, how to analyze, how to synthesize the information, and then how to produce databases that are viable. Okay. And then that's only the first phase. We're actually going to reach out to those companies with specific ways to collaborate through our organization, including books, summits, okay, and right, incubator. Because we're not just about education. We're not just talk. What are we based on?
Doing things, impacting, creating impact.
What's one word?
Result.
Action.
Action, yeah.
Action. Okay. Education plus action equals objective. That's one half of our equation. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do initially is research and develop the steps that you're going to take just to go ahead and develop your database. Okay, what are the action steps you're going to take? And then you're going to set up a spreadsheet and you're going to populate it with the headers that you think you need to be effective. and you're going to populate it with a half a dozen examples. Now, two things that people do initially that are not correct. One is they don't populate their spreadsheet at all, and they just show up with a bunch of headers. And how do you know if your headers are correct if you have no data in it? And then the other thing that they do is they don't show up until several days later, and they've got, hundreds of whatever data in there, but they didn't show it initially, so they didn't get feedback on what they were doing. And now they found out after they presented that they missed key, right, data points that they had to include, and all their data is worthless. The point I'm making is that the way that you proceed in your training, right, and your success is present often. Okay. When you start something, make some tangible progress, and then present, get feedback so you know you're on the right track. We're not here to waste your time or my time. Okay. So, okay, that's good. So you're good for now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Deepa, you are next. Based on what we talked about, right? What's your area of interest?
Last time when we spoke, you mentioned something about having product development in your project, and you said that you'll expand more on it, and also the SDGs as well. And you were like, I can work on both here and there. So I was looking on that, and
Okay,
I was hoping to get more information on that here.
sure. Okay, product development. Do
Yeah.
you have you used CAD programs before?
CAD, I did, but I don't have the software right now, like the official version, and the free versions don't really have everything. So I'm not really into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got to give you a project that's a product development that doesn't have CAD.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. Correctly,
Okay.
yeah.
So, okay. What is you have programming skills?
Not really, no. No.
Okay. Because one of the products I have is a hybrid between software app development and hardware.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
you've got to go ahead and
Do the coding. No, I'm not into
got to
coding,
do coding
unfortunately.
for the
Yeah.
hardware, and you've got to
Okay.
find the hardware. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that eliminates that one. Okay, let me think. Okay. Where are you located right now?
I'm currently in Buffalo.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I said that before. My condolences. Okay.
Oh, no, no, no. I love it here.
Oh my God. And you've been
Yeah.
there through the winter already?
Yeah, I've been here for 2 winters and it was amazing. Yeah.
What was the highest snow level that you had?
The year I came in, it was like the highest 8 feet. But then I was not at that time. Last year, it was like 6 feet. So I'm like, okay, I still love it here. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
It is.
Do all the doors open inward?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. 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 This one is game development.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting, but it's complex.
Okay.
And there's two different versions. There's
Mhm.
and we're not going to talk about the digital version. We'll talk
Right.
about the actual physical game production version.
Okay.
Okay. So it's going to require that you learn a little bit about the printing industry.
Okay.
Okay, which you'll research it, but also I'll teach you as
Sure.
we go along.
Sure.
But there's a lot of components that go into it. And because of the way that I'm doing this, there's a lot of add-ons that also involve production.
Okay.
Production. So in other words, we have a game, and when you think of a traditional game, let's say a board game like Monopoly, this is not Monopoly.
Right.
The game is
Okay.
called One, the Fight for Survival of the Human Race. So it's a
Okay.
sustainability game. And actually, Vani, it will tie into some of the research that you're doing also, because the research you're doing can be used for multiple things. Okay. So remember, what do we teach? We teach collaborative sustainability. In other words, how things fit together, right, in order to achieve the results that we want. Okay. So you'll find that when I develop things, I develop them across maybe different platforms.
Right.
Okay. So that they can have greater impact. Okay. So in this game, which you'll see, and some of you might even get to go ahead and have input and play and blah, blah, blah as we go along. Okay. It literally is the fight for survival of the human race. And what's different, I'm not going to get into the whole game, but what you're familiar, I hope, right? Some of you, everyone familiar with the Dharma wheel?
No.
No? No? Oh my
No.
goodness.
What is it?
Let me go ahead and see. Let me see. If I just want to show you a picture and you tell me now if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Cancel. Let me see if it's on this computer, because this is my laptop, not my desktop. Okay. This is like a small picture. Okay, can you see this? Very small, right?
Yeah, there's a tap cup, so it's like, is it like the Pelton wheel? Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay, you know what it is now? Yes, no, maybe?
maybe.
Okay. Right. Isn't this the spirituality wheel from Buddhism? Okay. So anyway, what I did was I appropriated it and I turned it into the game board
Oh.
for one. Okay. And I won't go into gameplay right now because we don't have time and everything else. But the thing is that what you'll be doing is research. You'll be doing research into production for the product, the physical product, which there's a game board, there are cards, there are movement pieces that people move around, but there's collateral products also. So in other words, there's metal pins, there's coins, what we call karma coins that come also into play from the Karma Club, which is a completely different program. Okay. And these are beautiful. I have them for the ones for the United States. They're beautiful. They have the flag on the country on one side. They have the Taoist yin yang on the other side, and then they have some writing around the perimeter. Okay, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and we'll be manufacturing those for every country. And they're heavy. They're brass coins that are much larger than quarters. They're more like silver dollars, but even much thicker than that. Okay. So they weigh a lot, they're of significance, and there'll be prizes that people can go ahead and purchase and earn. Okay. So there's a lot of different components that go into this, and you're going to learn about manufacturing. Okay. I don't know if you've ever dealt with RFQs.
Yeah.
Okay. And writing specification sheets.
Sort of, yeah. Not in detail though, but yeah, I did see them.
Okay. So you're going to learn a lot
Yeah.
about that, but also, right, how not to limit where you're going so that you're limited on your quotations. Okay. So in other words, where we can get things manufactured around the world. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll be doing research. It's not just Alibaba.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay. So, and this is going to touch you. The game is all about sustainability.
Yeah.
It's about education and, believe it or not, action. Okay. So is that good?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
Is that a yeah,
It,
yeah, like yeah, I'm excited, or yeah, I'm kind of nervous?
I'm not nervous. It's fine. I mean, it's it is something related to what I did before, so I think it's fine.
Oh, it's going to be,
Um,
it's probably going to be a lot tougher than what you did before.
sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to learn a lot, believe me.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. And even on the project management side, because there's a lot to manage about what we're talking about. And then
Right. Okay.
the game is going to be featured at the summit. And
Okay.
also, I'm starting a crowdfunding program based upon
Okay.
the game. So you will have opportunities to get into, if you want, social media, crowdfunding, even sponsorship. So
Okay.
business side of what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that good?
Yes. No. Yeah. It's a
Now
very
it's
exciting.
now it's
Yeah.
more attractive.
Yeah. It is.
Okay, good.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. Um, and Vani, I told you that you're going to be doing research into cutting edge sustainability solutions and you know, we're going to also contact these companies once we have your database and find out, right, who are the leaders in terms of what we call people of influence. Okay. University professors are not people of influence. They might have expertise, even though it might be limited, in an area, but they're not people of influence. Okay. Just because you teach 400 students every semester and you publish a paper, right? It doesn't mean that you're doing an impact in the real world. So the thing is that we want to engage the people who are experts and who are people of influence. So part of your database is going to be, right, what are the people's impact? What's their influence sphere? Okay, in terms of real numbers on social media, so that we can also contact certain ones of these that actually can provide us with information that can even go into the game. And then you're going to find out about the books that we do on sustainability. 16 Things We All Can Do to Act Right and Help Save the Planet, Sustainability Special Edition, or Collaborative Sustainability Special Edition. Okay. And we'll get into that. So in other words, what you're doing, I'm not going to give you all this stuff at one time. You're going to be completely overwhelmed. So I'm going to do things in phases. Okay. Do a phase, get going with that, get successful with that, go to the next phase. Okay, cool. Amir, sir.
Yeah.
You are up.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, say your name, say where you're living, say what you studied in school. I know you've been working for a long time, right? What you're doing, what you did during your career, but keep it brief, okay? Keep the introduction
Oh,
brief,
yes. Yeah.
and then we'll get
Sure.
into what you want to do.
Okay. So my name is Amir. I live in Pakistan. Uh, I've studied BS in information technology. I'm working as a software development. Recently, I'm working as a deputy manager in an insurance company, working with Oracle, a little bit of Python, Apex, web technologies, like those stuff.
Okay. And in terms of what you want to do through the organization, right? Do you have an
So
idea?
development, or maybe I have done project management too.
Always you're going to be doing project management. So
Yeah,
everybody's doing project management. So,
yeah,
one thing that I think might be suitable for you, which is going to be a new experience, is working with AI agents to
yeah,
accomplish things.
yeah.
Okay. And that's really the next big leap that AI is going to do for companies.
Exactly.
Okay. So one of the agents that we want to do is set up an automated process in order to handle our volunteers and interns. Okay. Because it's not automated really now, and it takes a lot of time to go ahead and
Yeah,
do. And there's X number of steps that can happen before we get into the live aspect of it. Okay. And
exactly.
then once we
Yeah,
get that automated, we can go ahead and use that same type of agent building for right people who are going to enroll in our courses. Okay. Because right under the step right program and the Benjamin Da Vinci Centers, we actually have a 70-page curriculum
hmm,
book that goes into what we do. And we have schools that want to partner with us, right? And opens, centers at their schools. And next year, we've got to get this whole system running because we're going to be opening, hopefully, 60 centers around the world.
that's good.
And the thing is that we can be opening, right, centers in Pakistan, in India, in Buffalo. Oh my God, in Buffalo. Okay. Just don't invite me to talk. Okay. Um, so that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Now comes the tricky part. Okay. What you're going to always do is learn and use our Promoro system. It starts
Okay.
with, I don't know if you were tuned in for this part, right? Promoro stands for project management, the four components that go into it: objective, research, outline, and spreadsheet. Memorize those in order because you're always going to be doing them. So when you create your spreadsheet to manage your project, you're going to have one tab that's objective, and you're going to write down what the objective is that you're going to do, but it's going to be called like O and P, because P is the prompts that you're going to create to get AI to do the research to help you achieve the objective.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Part of our artificial intelligent management system is that you're going to learn the four components to writing an effective prompt. Okay. So the first one is you've got to give the prompt its level of competency. Okay. So you got to tell the prompt what its expertise level is. So you are, right, the CTO for a Fortune 500 company with 35 years experience, okay, in software development,
Okay.
okay? And you're going to, the answers you're going to give me are at, an MBA level. Otherwise, it might give you 8th grade level. Okay. Then you're going to tell it what the content is, right? What you want it to do. And you've got to be tremendously specific.
I want to do in the medical sectors and education sectors to use that AI.
Okay. Let me address that after I finish going through the 4 components, because otherwise, right, other people aren't going to follow what we're talking about. So, and I hope you're writing this down, right? Because, right, you should always be taking notes. You should have your notepad open, right, for what we're talking about when we have these meetings, because otherwise, I'm going to start talking about stuff later on. You're going to forget what I talked about. And even when you go to do your work, I'm going to go ahead and have told you specific things that you need to do. And you're going to come back and say, okay, I did my work. And it turns out you only did 50% of it because you didn't take proper notes. Right. And even if you did take proper notes, you got to actually read them and follow them. Right. And so people come back with 60% because they didn't follow their notes. So you're going to have to learn how to do all of that if you don't already know. Okay. And Deepa, we're going to go into what you're going to do specifically as well. Okay. So you've got, right, your competency, right, your content. You're going to go ahead and give it your what are the constraints that you're going to put on the AI so that you're going to tell it to avoid hallucinating, avoid fabricating information, only cite, factual information with references. Okay. And let's see. We've got there's one more. What the hell? I stayed up too late last night, so I don't remember what the last one is. Constraints. Oops. Ah, let me see here. One sec. And let's see. See, even I sometimes forget what the hell I designed. Um, so actually, I'll give you a link later on because I wrote a small program to help prompt you into going ahead and writing your prompts more effectively. But initially, what I want to do is see how you go ahead and do them, okay, with your objective and then the components that go into it. When you have your objective and your prompt written, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to run your objective and your prompt through AI, and you're going to ask the AI to rewrite your prompt to have a better outcome. So in other words, to refine your prompt so that it can achieve your objective even better. And then you're going to take that prompt and you're going to run it through not one AI, you're going to run it through a minimum of 3 AIs to go ahead and get enough information so that you can analyze what comes back and then not just select possibly one of them, but even possibly synthesize information from more than one in order to get the best outcome. Not all AIs do things equally well. So what's the most popular AI? ChatGPT. I very rarely use ChatGPT because it doesn't give me high enough level answers. Okay.
Yeah.
So, right, you have to get familiar with, how Copilot gives you information back, how Perplexity, how Claude, how ChatGPT, right, how DeepSeek, right, how Gemini. Okay. So you get used to seeing what they do, and then things also can change because every week it seems they're doing updates to what they do. And sometimes the updates are good, sometimes they're not. Okay. So this is definitely a, very volatile industry that we're working under. So that's why we have to know how to effectively do what we're doing. It's not like you learn it once, right? And then you just go with that. Okay. People who are doing that are going to have problems. And then also, you really have to analyze what comes back from these programs because whenever I get my answers back, I don't always accept it. I go ahead and do follow-up questions or statements, right? And I get it to redo the information. And just like I might ask you to redo your information 2, 3, 4 times, I ask ChatGPT sometimes, or whatever GPT I'm using, to go ahead and redo their information 2, 3, 4 times to get it to what I actually need. Don't be satisfied with what it automatically gives you if it's not the best. Okay? Because it will completely omit things that it did previously. In other words, it might have answered something as a part of what you're doing, and then you ask it to refine, and it completely forgot about what it just did. And then it omits it, and then you've got to ask it to go ahead and do the whole thing all over again, right, with that included. There are so many different ways it can screw up. And believe me, right, it does. And it's your responsibility to go ahead and catch those. And the only way you're going to catch them is if you're actually analyzing what it does. Okay. So go ahead, Amir. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was saying that using AI in the health sector and as well as in education systems, it will help and benefit other peoples too.
Right. So what I want you to do is go through a process. The process I'm going to give you is you're going to go ahead and learn what you need to do on this system that I just talked to you about, which is going to be less complex than the other systems that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So once you go through that process, right, then you'll be able to tackle and understand what you're really going to do more effectively for the other, right, programs.
Programs. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so for the next steps. Okay, so okay, for you, Amir, what I want you to do is create a spreadsheet where I want you to research what are popular free programs that can generate AI agents. Okay, everyone here know about Zapier? Okay, Zapier can generate AI agents, but it's not free. Okay, so the thing is, there are tons of programs that can do it for free, right? We're a nonprofit, right? We're not doing things for profit. We're doing things for people, right? I spend enough money, believe me, on what we do, right? Don't need to be spending more. So set up your spreadsheet, show me some examples of what you found, populate it with some examples, use AI, use the system that we just talked about, set up what your objective is, write your prompt, right? See what the, run that through a few AIs, get your prompt better, but document everything you're doing in your one project management spreadsheet. When we go ahead and have files that we generate, and we'll set up shared folders for you all on our remote driver, on our remote drive, so that you can go ahead and put the information in there. And what you do is we have a system where we always use all caps for your file names. We have you name your file names very specific, not document, not write, AI, research. That tells us nothing about what you're actually doing. And you might end up with, 10, 20, 30 files that potentially have the same name under the same project, and we have no idea what we're looking at. So be specific with your file names, use all caps. Okay. When you create your spreadsheets, the first row is the header row. Freeze the header row, put it in bold. Do not name the file inside the spreadsheet. The file name is the name of the document. So you don't have to repeat it in your first sheet. Okay. Get specific with your columns, with your headers. Okay. The tabs at the bottom, right? You can break down as specifically as you need. Do those in all caps as well. Okay. For your cells, right? Do not put the data in randomly in terms of top, middle, bottom. Have all your data always at the top of the cell. Do not use colors. Do not use a variety of fonts. We only use Calibri or Gill Sans, right, as our fonts. We don't use Helvetica and we don't use serif fonts. If you don't know what serif are, look it up. Okay. Let's see. I think that's about it. Okay, for now. And we'll go through your spreadsheets because what we want are spreadsheets that are easy to use, manipulate information, and professional looking, clean and professional, right? If I showed you what someone just turned in, right, the other day, to me, it's not good. Okay. It looked like a Christmas tree. Okay. And all righty. So, okay. Deepa, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to research game production companies, board game production companies.
Mhm.
Okay. around the world. Okay. And I want you to research, right, the largest companies around the world.
Largest production companies. Yeah.
Game production companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you the fields that need to go into what you're doing. That's what you're going to have to go ahead and figure out and use AI to figure out. Same thing with you, Amir. Same thing with you, Vani. Okay. Right. If I tell you all this stuff, you're not going to learn anything. So you learn by doing and then presenting and then getting feedback. Okay. So anybody have any questions on anything that I've gone over? No? Everybody good? Okay.
We're good.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Monday. How about you want to do Wednesday same time? Is that good?
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. Okay. So, and if you have questions or whatever, you always know you can WhatsApp me.
Sure.
Okay. And, in the future, when you're presenting and different times, right, you're not always going to go 2 days between things. Sometimes you might go 2 hours, right, between things. Okay. But I want to give you enough time to go ahead and get comfortable doing your objective, right, your prompt, right, and your spreadsheet and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. All righty. So good session, 1 hour exactly, right? Mission accomplished.
I have a question,
Yes.
kind of request. Can you share this recording so we can go over after later maybe?
Yes, I can. It involves me going ahead and us putting it on YouTube and then giving you permissions and then all that stuff and then giving you links. Yes, it might not be instantaneous, right? Unless somebody writes a an AI agent for doing that, right? Which we'll talk to Amir about later. Okay, so yes, I can. I'll send you all the links to it shortly by sometime this afternoon, Eastern time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good question. Okay,
Take
smile
care.
and
Bye-bye.
wave. Smile and wave. Come on, Vani,
Bye-bye.
you can do it. That's one of our programs, right? It's our program. Smile and wave. Okay, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.